Hello, children. Happy Friday. Are you ready to end our week with another chapter from Guinea Pig Superstar? And I think in this chapter we're about to find out what was in Fergus's box. So, chapter 5. What's in the box, Harry Stevenson? Now it was Fergus's turn to show and tell. Harry sat on Billy's lap and watched as Fergus picked up his cardboard box and placed it on a table. Harry had a very bad feeling about that box. It might have looked like a boring cardboard box to you and me, but to Harry it was a menacing box of dread. It must have been his ancient guinea pig instinct kicking in. Harry knew that being scared of unfamiliar things and sensing danger everywhere was simply the way of the guinea pig. Running like mad when necessary was too. It was how his ancestors had survived in the wild. The Smith's back garden was about as wild as Harry's life got, but the need to hide, watch and flee ran deep inside him. I've seen the nature programmes, he thought. You can't be too careful if you're small and fluffy. So Harry watched with a rising feeling of terror as Fergus rummaged inside the box. And then, horror of horrors, Fergus pulled out something so scary Harry's whiskers nearly froze off with fear. For there, in Fergus's arms, looking out at the class with what to Harry seemed like a seriously evil stare, was a dreadful, fearsome, petrifying snake. Yikes! Yelled half the class, and Miss Gibby, drawing back as far as they could from Fergus. Cool, breathed the other half, leaning forward to get a better look. I wonder which group you'd be in, children. I know which one I'd be in. You can guess which half Harry was in. He felt like he was going to faint. He wriggled as close as he could to Billy, who could sense his friend's fear and picked him up to protect him. Harry whickered gratefully. Billy was so kind. There you are, you can see. This is Flash, said Fergus proudly. He's a corn snake. He's very gentle, and he's really sleepy as he's had a big breakfast this morning. He's very easy to keep. He's super clever, and I think he's the best pet ever. Best pet ever, huffed Harry Stevenson, feeling a lot braver now he was safe in Billy's arms. Can Flash popcorn or weak or make rumbly noises? I don't think so. And he's not exactly cuddly either. Harry felt even more jealous when he saw that lots of the children were gathering around Fergus for a closer look at his snake. Someone asked what Flash ate, and Harry covered his ears with his paws. He didn't want to think about that. Ugh. Harry wasn't going to have anything to do with that creature. No, thank you. Sleepy or not, a snake was no friend to a guinea pig. It took a while for Miss Gibby to calm her class down. She looked as if she needed calming down herself. She had turned very pale, and her hair wasn't looking quite so sleek. It had gone a bit frizzy, and she kept patting it flat. Flash and Harry were put back in their carriers, but the children were overexcited by the snake's presence, either pretending to be more scared than they really were, or showing off that they weren't scared at all. Harry could see one boy standing on a chair refusing to come down, while another girl was slithering her hands up and down a classmate's back pretending to be a snake. The classmate was not happy about this and was pointing it out at the top of his voice. Just then there was a knock on the door. Miss Gibby looked up and went even paler as it opened. It's Mrs. Edwards, the head teacher, Billy whispered to Harry. Uh-oh, thought Harry. Billy had told him that Mrs. Edwards was very strict indeed. There were three other people with the head. A friendly-looking woman wearing an enormous gold chain, a serious-faced man with a beard and a beret, and a rather scary-looking woman clutching a notebook. From his carrier, Harry studied them and wondered who they were. By the looks of it, none of the class knew either. Good morning, Miss Gibby. Good morning, 3G, said Miss Edwards. Good morning, Mrs. Edwards, chanted the children. This is Mrs. Singh, the mayor, Mr. Dunn, an artist, and Mrs. Finch, a reporter from the City News, said Mrs. Edwards. They've kindly come to judge our art competition today, and I'm showing them round the school. Miss Gibby, we heard some rather strange noises coming from your classroom. Is everything all right? Yes, it was just a bit of natural history, blushed Miss Gibby, who did not want to admit to having not only a guinea pig in her classroom, but a real-life snake too. It's probably not a situation that any teacher would want to deal with. Just ask yours at school. Yes, she went on, we were having a science lesson. The children were learning about zoology. Zoology, said the reporter, raising her eyebrows and scribbling in her notebook. Well, that is different. Miss Gibby blushed even more and smoothed her hair down, but it bounced back wilder than before. Poor Miss Gibby, thought Harry, and glared at the visitors for making her nervous. I thought your class started with maths today, said Mrs. Edwards. Miss Gibby swallowed and cleared her throat. Maths, she croaked. Oh, yes, that's right. We're just getting ready for maths. I'm very glad to hear it, Miss Gibby, said Mrs. Edwards, as she and the visitors left the room. Phew, thought Harry Stevenson, relieved that no one had spotted him. But wait, had Miss Gibby just said maths? Now Harry was feeling nervous too. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen in the maths lesson. Not sure I'd quite like to have a snake in my maths lessons at school, would you? See you next week, year 2. Have a great weekend. Bye.